This episode, I'll talk with Tanja Renee Parker. She's born and raised in Germany to an African American father, to a German mother, and we talk about her upbringing, her time during school here in Germany. We also talk about African American culture and how she dealt with that here in Germany. We'll also talk about her time when she visited Atlanta and sharing some Atlanta stories, which are crazy, but don't worry. And we also talk about the differences of dating between German culture and American culture. So let's get into the episode. Make sure you clap every time because if you don't, it becomes a real situation.
That's what they say in Atlanta strip clubs.
Oh, what? A real situation?
No,
if you don't
every
clap?
time you clap, yeah.
if, so you've been out to Atlanta for real, okay.
I have. Well, I mean, I've never been to a strip club.
Oh, wait. You've been to Atlanta, but you've never been to a strip club?
Yes.
How long you was in Atlanta?
A few days.
A few days, okay.
Yeah. I only been to one strip club in Miami. But it was 11, and I think that's more of like a gentrified strip club.
A gentrified strip club?
Yeah, like there were like Germans in there. I heard German in there. Exactly. When I go to a strip club, I don't want to hear German. All I want to hear is booty cheeks. If that's where I'm gonna go. I'm
not gonna lie to you. Hearing German in the strip club, that would have been like, this is not my demographic.
This is just not what's supposed to happen. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah. Did it dance more politely when they heard the German language in there, or was it just still ratchet?
It wasn't ratchet enough. I want to see the shit. For some reason, I had a phase in my early 20s where I watched like strip club documentaries. Cause like, I think that's like a thing what people go through, like how men have like this idea, like they want to rap, they want to be drug dealers, they want to be ball players.
Okay.
I feel like women have an idea like, I want to be like the mob boss wife. I want to be a stripper. I want to do like illegal shit. And I think like I had that phase as well. And you're just like, oh my God, what would it be like to be a stripper? Things that men talk about a lot. I was like, what is it to be that desire to have a song named after you?
Oh,
and shit. I just watched this documentaries. I was like, yeah, I love that. Love that for you.
Okay.
And I just watched it and I was just like,
Then you went to a Miami strip club and you heard German. He's like, nah, this is not it.
No, it's just like, I mean, I couldn't do it.
All right.
I'm not that.
Yeah, especially in Atlanta. I mean, you got that. People, a whole bunch of guns in the strip club, right?
Guns
It's like
in
crazy.
America.
Yeah.
Guns in America is a problem.
And weed, guns, and ass shaking, that's a bad recipe for safety.
It's not a good idea.
Nah.
It's not a good idea. It's just a lot of influences.
A lot.
It's clapping, then you think someone's getting shot, someone's getting beat, and then and then like people are going to be slow because they're high. Like that's just an escalation waiting to happen. We just don't need that.
Right. Everyone trying to exit, but they're too slow and shit.
It's like, it's like the sloth in the one Zootopia movie. Just trying to activate.
They're trying to activate, but they're too high, so they're kind of like deactivating. Actually.
Exactly.
All right, well, before we start,
yes,
you can tell the people, what's your name, where you from, what you do.
Hi. Okay, do I look in the camera when I do that?
Hey, if you want to. I mean, you can look anywhere, but,
God, what if I say my whole government?
You don't. Hey.
No, I'm just like, I just have this weird thing of saying my entire government name because I don't know why I do that.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it makes no sense. I don't know something. I haven't gotten to it. I don't have a stage name. I need a stage name.
So hold on, but the name you use is Tanja, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
oh, wait. But
let me give you the intro that I normally would do.
Okay, intro. Okay, I'll shut up. Let me.
Guten Tag, mein Name ist Tanja Renee Parker. I am half American, half German, born and raised in the Germ. German and German education, from the kindergarten to everything else. However, a full-blown nigga at heart.
Yeah, woo! All right, cool. That was a nice intro. That was a very that was a very intro from the heart right there. Yeah. You even touched your heart there. So that's
I'm 32 years old, and that's all I got. Well, in my intro.
Nah, that's a good intro. Yeah, you even spoke a little German in the beginning.
It's a fact. Yeah,
that's what's up. So you originally from Germany?
Yeah. So I was born in Frankenthal, in the Palatinate, and I have been living in Heidelberg for 10 years. And my day job, I am like office manager / like executive assistant. And I've now started my comedy journey this year.
Congratulations on
Thank you
that.
so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't even realize because when I first saw you on stage, I was like, oh, yeah, the way you was moving, the way you
Yeah.
was talking, I'm like, you have stage presence.
Oh, I've been a clown all my life.
Clown.
Well, clown, jokester. I used to dance professionally.
Mm-hmm.
So being on stage is nothing new to me. Speaking on stage is more new to me. That's why I move a lot while I speak.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm a licensed teacher.
You're a licensed teacher.
Yeah. So when I recognized when I was on stage and I was asking people for their participation, I recognized that was a method that I had learned while I was getting while I was being taught how to be a teacher. I recognized that was a method that I had learned. And I was like, oh my God, look at me crossing things that I have in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, licensed teacher,
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah.
Wow. So you got a lot of things going on.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, it's dope. So growing up in Germany,
Mhm.
you had the fortunate ability to have European or German type
Mhm.
of was education,
Yes.
let's just say.
Yeah.
So you probably got taught a lot more than what they teach in America.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
My mother said we're not. Well, my parents are married, which is very unusual for army soldier no national like German nationals or just in general, like where Americans are.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like it's not a high chance that they'll stick around for the kids.
Okay.
But my parents were still married, so I grew up with my father just putting his influence on me, period.
Wow.
So that's why I am the way I am. And he would always record things off of like BT or UPN. So I have tapes of Black culture that I would just watch. I know certain episodes of certain shows almost by heart because I would just keep watching it. So that's why I think I've internalized Black culture so much.
What? That is crazy.
Is it?
Yes, because I mean that those shows is what kind of encapsulated Black America and like the culture within it.
Yes.
So like for you to watch,
Yeah.
wow, your dad was your dad.
He
was
a real one.
He a real one.
Like Friday after next would play a lot in our house. Friday after next Friday, all of that. It would play a lot in our house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he recorded it and then he'll go back to America.
No, I mean, yeah.
Or
there was AFN. It's like a military sponsored program or channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we had it in our house. And even when he would go to, so you would have access to like Cartoon Network, you would have access to UPN. So he would just record things off of like on the VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would just have them. And then I recently stole one of the tapes to just have it because I do recognize, because it was like Tanja something. And I was just like, this is me.
Yeah.
This is how I've learned a lot of me, or a lot of like, this is how I connected. And even every time I would go to the States, every time I would go to Detroit, I was like, this is what it is. Like, this is where I am reflected as a person and my characteristics. Because like in Germany, I have a very German untypical personality. So whenever I would go to the States or whenever I watch the shows, I would recognize that my character was more represented there than it would be like in my daily life.
What? So that must have been like a mind fuck, right? In terms of you having that personality, because that's Black American like personality right there, like to the point. But in Germany, where that does not exist, I'm assuming, like did it even exist that type of?
I mean, it was still kind of in pop culture, but not as much. Where I live, I had access to like military bases, so there were like little capsules of it.
Oh, so you lived on the base?
I did not. That's the thing. I didn't even live on the base. So so I grew up, went to German school. I had German friends. I had German like daycare. Like I had a very German upbringing, but I would always enjoy going out to the States, to America, like, and I was like, this is a fun time. And even when I was 17, when I was able to go out and go there by myself, I fully delved into it. I had a crash course in like the ratchetness.
Crash course.
I had a crash course in the ratchetness.
Damn.
18, 19 years old. I was like, I have a crash course in just living amongst the chaos. And I was just like, and in that aspect, my very strong foundation, what my parents instilled in me, you know, kept me level headed because I ain't never got no shit.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen some shit.
You seen some shit?
I never got no shit.
Oh, you never got
I was
no
just
shit?
like, hello. What's up, y'all?
that polite German came out as soon as
like, and every time some shit would happen and I could like de-escalate the situation by speaking German, I would definitely do that. Like I was like, ja, guten Tag, das ist kein Problem. Wir klären das. Wir klären das, alles kein Problem.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Got no issues.
Yeah, I mean,
de-escalating is gonna happen.
Damn, yo. So you almost, oh my God, it's almost like you was like a super person, right? Because like a superwoman. Because you had the ability to turn on that Germanness right at the time when things get a little crazy.
Yeah. I mean, also my parents are extremely different. My mother is a very like 6 foot, very serious, technically serious, introverted white woman.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. She doesn't criticize. She enjoys my meanness.
Okay.
And I always ask her, like, if I'm doing too much, you need to tell me. She was like, no, it's fine. Do what you gotta do. And I was like, I'm just asking. Because I tell her everything.
Okay.
She lets me do it. And I was like, all right, cool. And my dad is just, he's a good guy. He's just a nigga from Detroit. A good one. I love him. I love him so much. That sounds weird. Sounds super weird. That sounds super weird. I don't mean it like that.
Don't add the German accent and say nigga. Don't do that.
I do that way too often. Especially between my friends. Like, I have a lot, like...
I just got triggered, yo.
No, like, I attract, like, a lot of friends who do have the same... Like, not the same, but like similar-ish from different cultures.
What they say, nigga in a German?
Not a nigga in a German accent, but like African people. I have a Congolese and Angolan, like really good friend. Like I have a friend from Mali, and she's half Mali, half German.
Mm-hmm.
And they grew up in Germany, so this type of duality is natural to them and to me. So I attract those type of people where we can say nigga in a German accent and it's perfectly fine.
But see, the way people say nigga, you can tell where somebody grew up based on how they say nigga.
Right.
Like
what is your thesis on this?
All right, so my thesis on it, right? You can tell with somebody you can tell what kind of environment a black person grew up in by the way they say nigga. So if they say like yo my nigga, like you know what I mean? It'd be like smooth. The smoother it is, the more connected they are to like, urban environments are all facets. But when somebody be like, hey, my nigga, you be like, why
is it G like that?
Yeah.
Did you see Drake? Did you follow the Drake and Kendrick beef?
I ain't followed closely, but I know obviously the beef and what's going on. Yeah.
There was where was this? Was I watching like Flagrant 2? It was some podcast somewhere. They showed a recording of Drake in his younger years when he was, I guess, exploring his blackness more, and how he was starting to use, AAVE.
Oh, wow.
And it was just very cringe.
Like, how do you say?
He was like, yeah, like he was forcing the smoothness of the Nick. And I was like, young man, okay? Babes.
Yeah.
Babes. Sweetheart now.
When you feel like it's trying.
It's like, it's a lot of trying. Yeah. It's like, I need to get into character. I need to adapt. Like, if you're adaptive, if your transition to adapt from one culture to the other takes so long, just stay in one.
This is how you know somebody used the word, like they know how to use it, or they use it in they lexicon. Let me say, is that they catch themselves by to say, they're like, yo, this nigga, oh shit, like see how you almost called, So that's how you know somebody really uses it, is when they catch themselves. They're like, yo, this nigga, oh shit, this person white, my bad. This person.
I don't cuss in front of my dad.
Yeah.
But I tell him all the time, I'm like, Daddy, like, if you let me. Because I cuss like a sailor, obviously.
Yeah.
He's just like, I was like, just let me. And I slip all the time.
Right.
He was like, Tanya, like he'll grab the back of my neck at my big age. He was like, Tanya, stop cussing. And I was like, and I'll just start laughing. And I was like, just let me curse and our relationship will be so much more locked in. Let me love you. Just let me just. Damn. He's just like, nah. And I was like, whatever.
Damn, your dad's a real one, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, because look, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes when you live in a certain area, after a long time, it can change you. But
Yeah.
it sounds like he still kept it straight Detroit all the way through.
He did. I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
Of course, Detroit in Germany.
Yeah, I mean, I love him. Period. And his he's been married to my mom for 37 years. He's been in Germany, accumulated at least 40.
Wow.
And he's 63. And he does not speak German.
Oh.
Exactly. So for him, I think my mother said no to the American school system, which is why I stayed in Germany. Or my brother and I, because I have a big brother. So we stayed in Germany because my mom said, hell no. Oh, and they bought property here and they're fine. But I think this is too personal. We'll see if it's gonna keep in the thing. Okay. But I think a part of him is a form of protest. I will not integrate into German society because I really don't want to be here. But I'm doing it for the love of my family, period. So he doesn't speak German. He doesn't really have any German friends. And he worked for the military. He worked in the capsule. And that conserved a lot of his Americanness. He didn't have to. He always used to say, when I would argue with him about it, the American government signs my checks. Fuck Germans. And I was like, and I guess that's why I have this very, very straight duality, because I just have the two cultures. I only know how to speak English so well because my dad does not speak German. My mom is a licensed translator. So if I wouldn't know, I would be mid-sentence at 3 years old or 4 years old, mid-sentence, all full English, not know a word, be like, Ma, das bedeutet das? And then she'll be like, da 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 da. And I was like, so daddy, da 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 da. Like, I'll just be mid-thing. I'm his translator since I was a child. He would just like say the thing. And I was like, das ist, was mein Vater möchte. Punkt. So that's that. Like, really? Full black child. My mom knew how to do black hair so well. So I had beads and everything. So I was a full black child, just talking all this shit because I could. Which is the reality for a lot of mixed race children, in my opinion. Or for a great amount of them. So that's why I don't see it as like the superpower, because it's just, I mean, even in the States, the Turkish community in Germany, their switch up is like, their code switching is flawless. The Italians in Germany, there are so many people that code switch as well. But I think because we're black, you just see it more because it's more of a contrast.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
And then also to the culture, the culture is so like, I mean, even yesterday I did a show or whatever, and there's a dude came up to me. He's like, man, I think he's from Turkey. He's like, man, it was good seeing you. And it's just my first time seeing a black person that like sounds like Black American. He's like, the black people that I come to here, like I'll see a black person and then they'll speak perfect German.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to that because on TV, I usually see black people I see on TV, they speak Black American.
Yeah.
So I was listening. I was just kind of like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's the melting pot, and Black Germans are everywhere. Black Germans are educated, and they're showing up way more. And like my friend, she's a social worker at a school, and she's Black, and her mere presence at the school does wonders. So I adore any Black person in any position, but especially a position of empowerment and power.
Yeah.
To just be there. Like, you don't even have to do much. Of course, a lot of pressure comes with it, because a lot of people are going to put a lot of like expectations on you.
Expectations? What kind of expectations?
Like, for you to be able to de-escalate a lot of racist encounters or conflicts. For you to be able to just kind of fight every racial conflict that arises, to recognize it and to fight it. And you are then the singular person in that entire entity. Like, no other teachers are going to look at it. None of the white teachers are educated on racism, but you are.
That is, I ain't gonna lie to you. 'Cause I have a joke about that, right? Where I'm
Please.
like, when you're the only black person in the room, if anything racist happen in the room, they immediately look
Everybody
to the
looking
next
at you.
black person. They're kind of like,
Everybody looking at you.
going,
So what you gonna do?
what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Nigga, you do it.
Yeah, it's like
You check them.
it's like I ain't had breakfast today.
Exactly. I was like, I'm not equipped today, okay? Okay, I stubbed my toe
Yeah.
on my bed this morning. Do you
Right.
think I give a fuck about that? You check him.
Right, and it's the
Why the
wrong.
fuck I gotta check him?
And it race is about a different race. I'm not even that
Exactly.
part of that
I was
race.
like, I didn't even. Did it even? Y'all can't look at Zakon.
Yeah.
Y'all can't look at Zakon. They call him something derogatory from his culture. Why are you looking at me?
It's like, I just heard about this culture today.
I don't know him. I don't participate in derogatory terms. Shut up.
Yeah, that is
Leave me
such
alone.
man. The pressure, even out here, there's still pressure on black people to know or be aware about everything racial or
Yeah.
whatever, and then having to de-escalate it or to deal with
be the
it.
bigger person.
Yeah.
No, I want to be racist. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. I do not have a lot of encounters.
Yeah. You know what? Interesting. Let's talk about it,
Mhm.
because one question I get, especially from people, back where I was living at New York, is that how am I treated as a black person here in Germany? And to be honest, I don't really feel it's more my Americanness that gets dealt with first
Facts.
before my blackness.
Period.
And then even a step further, me doing stand-up comedy, that's
Mhm.
another filter in itself. 'Cause
Right.
usually people are like, yo, what? Like, whoa,
What the fuck?
you was living in New York. Like, actually, me living in New York is a thing first,
Right.
then American,
Yeah.
stand-up comedian, then black person.
Right.
But
Right.
with you, what did you deal with anything growing up or like in general with you and your blackness?
I'd like to differentiate between, there's racism, there's prejudice, and there's ignorance.
Mm.
So I don't see I don't see questions about my hair or questions about certain things. I don't see as racist. I see them as more of an ignorant situation. Yeah. So I'm aware of all the microaggressions. How I choose to deal with them is always a choice that you have to make. Period. There was but the thing is also because I used to manage student dorms
Oh,
in
okay.
Heidelberg. So from application to cancellation, I would deal with that all administratively. And in that space, it was me, my coworker who was Spanish and Italian, and my other coworker who was Peruvian. We were the only 3 people of color.
Wow.
But I was more of an outspoken person of color,
Mm-hmm.
because one thing is what you're not going to have me fucked up.
Oh, that's funny.
And every instant, like I just don't fuck with discrimination of anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And people would actively discriminate openly. And I'm just like, and I'll call it out. And I was like, what the fuck you mean you're not going to take more Chinese people or Arabic people? Well, they're this. And I was like, let's make one thing clear. All the dirty dog ass motherfuckers in our buildings are mostly white. Okay? The disgusting motherfucker that peed in bottles around the whole room. Where was he? He was Deutsch, okay? Or he was Netherlands. He was Dutch. He was one of them motherfuckers.
Mm.
The dirty bastard who like jerked off in front of a girl's window was a white man.
What?
Exactly. A man that threatened our boss and took a hammer to my mother's office door was a white man with the most white German name. And I'm just like, and you want to put the issues and you want to have an issue with all these minorities in this motherfucker? Please. So, and my father affectionately calls him MC Hammer.
MC Hammer.
The one who took the hammer to the door.
MC.
He calls him MC Hammer. I was like, Daddy, you're real one. I love that guy.
That is,
Yeah.
wow. Look, first of all, we got to double back. You said somebody jerked off in front of a window of a person.
Yes. We had a female tenant.
Okay.
She lived in a ground floor apartment.
Right.
And one time she woke up and a man was jerking off in front of her window. Obviously, she was shocked, befuddled. The second time,
It was a
He
second.
didn't. There was a second. She clocked her phone. Pachaka. She sent us a picture. Clear as day. The man, and this was near a campus where a lot of hospitals were. So the man had on like a lab coat. His face was clear as day. And I was just like, and she put an emoji over his thing. And I was like, no, take the emoji off. Let's see it. Let's plaster it everywhere. Let's shame him. Let's put his little dingling out. Let's put his face out and put the picture everywhere. Since he want to jerk off in front of people, let's jerk off in front of him. Like, what do you want me to do?
Was he like a doctor or you just like a patient?
I don't know whatever happened.
He never got caught?
I don't know. I would have caught him. I would have started the shit. Damn. I did not have the authority to do it, but I wanted it to escalate to that point. I would have printed it out. And I was like, beware of that little dingling.
That's what I mean. Then again, if he stood there long enough to get a picture taken of him, he probably had some other thoughts of like how to stay low or something.
I think it was like on his lunch break. It was like broad daylight.
It was broad daylight?
Broad daylight. Broad morning. Was it even 7? It was daytime. It was not nighttime. He was not being inconspicuous. It was light.
Whoa.
The sun was up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's wild.
Exactly. That was a white man. So I'm just wondering, I was like, where is all this predatory, idea or prejudice of all these brown people coming from? Because statistically speaking, the most fucked up people in our buildings are white.
That is so interesting.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, every time I travel to a different country and I start hearing these stories and stuff, you kind of realize certain patterns that happen regardless of where you at. Things of discrimination, what have you. But then out here in Europe, you realize there's discrimination that goes even deeper. Sometimes you have discrimination against people from different countries, different parts of the country. Yeah. Like as American, because you come from America, it's usually just about race, like, black, white.
I mean, you gonna talk shit from a nigga. Like, I mean, there's still a lot of like beef. I was like, you from the east side, nigga? Like, you from the east side? Yeah. I mean, in Detroit, that's what I've witnessed.
Oh, I mean, yeah, of course.
So is that like, I mean,
you got that, but I mean, then you have like fucking multi-generational beefs, like, Turkish against this and
I mean, forget historical beefs.
Yeah, you be like, word?
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, I forgot about the Ottoman Empire.
Yep, shit, y'all still beefing about that?
I'm like, damn, I forgot I was in a history book. It was like 2 pages, but I remember.
Right.
Yeah, but they have like actual beefs, so the discrimination sometimes be happening weird and like ways that go through across generations. Sometimes against other white people, and you be like, oh, all right. You be like, I'm leaving the chat. All right, y'all go ahead, do your thing. But that's interesting to hear. And you brought up one thing that I think is also important between like actually being intentionally racist or like ignorant.
Yes.
Or so.
Yes.
Because the ignorance part, that is something that living out here, you realize like, because you be in a country and then they might have a thought about black people.
Right.
And then after a while, you think you're like, but what black person is coming out here for them to even have an accurate...
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like, and also sometimes you are the first black person that they feel comfortable to ask. And I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, like ask me all your black people question. But to a certain sense, like it's kind of a sweet honor. If you want to be like super like adorable about it, you're just like, oh my God, you feel comfortable talking to me about like your thingy things. That's so sweet. But then that also adds to like pressure.
Yes,
because now you're the spokesperson for an entire race, or your gender, or whatever, what have you.
Wow.
So therefore, again, a lot of pressure on us to be good people because we see. This is where I sometimes don't know. Aufallen.
What?
Because you nicht auffallen.
Oh, okay. This is you trying to find an English word? Say the German word and then
Auffallen.
Often?
Auffallen.
Auffallen.
Do you speak other languages?
I only speak English and then like broken English, like Liberian English.
Okay, like pidgin.
Yeah, pidgin.
Okay, cool,
yeah.
cool.
So I speak that. Yeah. Cool. Which is like its own thing.
Yes, I'm aware.
Oh yeah.
I have some Nigerian friends. So and Kenyan friends. So
that English is.
I'm aware of the pidgin.
Yeah, for anyone who knows about pidgin English, it has a at the end.
Yeah, not Birdman.
Not Birdman. No, definitely Birdman. Do they have an African version of Birdman?
I'm not in the culture like that to know that.
Yeah.
I've never been to the continent, so.
Ah, well, yeah, I
Just
mean, there's so many places to go to.
Oh yeah, I need to go. Like I'm just waiting for like, people to have their houses ready so I can just be like, "It's-"
Yeah, houses ready. Well, good luck with
I
that.
know, right?
You,
I know.
it'd be a
I'm waiting for
long
my
time.
friends. I'm just waiting for those houses to get ready so I can just,
Yeah, they don't even know when it's gonna be ready.
no one knows when they're going to be ready.
Them houses supposed to be ready 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So
I was like, we had a 2-year contract.
yeah,
Where we at?
just find a nice Airbnb and call it a day. They should as well.
No, I want a house.
House.
I want to stay in the houses. I want to stay with like family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I want to stay.
See, this is interesting as an African person because there's things I want to tell you, but there's things I also don't want to tell you to scare you from going.
Oh
Or
no,
to
I
ruin.
have no illusions about the dangers of going to the African continent or various
okay, so some
African
people told you.
countries. I have no illusions about it. That's why I want to stay at someone's actual house. Because do I feel like getting scammed? Do I feel like going through a lot of atrocities? No, I want to be in the safety of my friends who I trust and their community's space. I'm not that adventurous. Period.
Okay.
Like, for instance, not because when I came in, we talked about like the hood and how I've only accidentally came into the hood. 2019, I traveled through the States by myself, semi by myself, from New York, where I stayed with a friend. But then I went from New York to DC. In DC, I spontaneously decided to go to Atlanta after my stint in Miami. So I went from New York, DC, Miami, Atlanta, back to New York. So I was in Miami where I saw the strippers and the germ guys. Then I went to Atlanta to go to a festival. My dumb ass. My dumb and cheap ass decided to go and get an Airbnb near the festival grounds, which was in South Atlanta.
What, like, remember the city? Like not city,
The
but the
Atlanta,
park?
like I know the show at ATL. I know the show Atlanta.
Okay.
And I know that South Atlanta is the hood. Before I booked that Airbnb, I did not know that. So I booked the Airbnb. I got off the bus in the pouring rain and just like walked. It was a residential area. It didn't look hoodish to me. So next day, I get ready. The next day I go to the festival. I get picked up by an Uber. And this black lady says to me, she was like, "Girl, do you have a gun?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" "Ma'am, no, I do not." This is where I get German. Because when I'm in black, like when I'm over, I am German. I was like, "Do you have a gun?" "Ma'am, no, I do not." Do I need one?
That's the first question he asked you?
Basically.
Wow.
She was like, "Girl, do you know where you at?" And I was like, "In Atlanta? Yeah. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in this house, yeah. I can show you. Yeah, this is where I am." She was like, "Do you got a gun?" I was like, "No." "Do I need one?" She was like, "Girl, you are in the hood." And I was like, "Am I now?" And I am looking like a fucking tourist.
Really? What you got on? You got like probably touristy, like
No, I mean, I just look out of place. I have like, like skinny jeans, like red Chuck Taylors, like a nice little red sweater, and like.
Oh, you was wearing red too?
I mean, I don't know if that was like Crip territory.
I mean, who knows? But still, just wearing.
I don't know. I have no idea. I only have very shallow knowledge of gang culture.
Yeah.
And I had like this funky, like thrifted shirt on. I was looking very Berlin. And had like my little hat on because so you guys stay protected from the sun during the festival.
Right.
So I was looking very mature, just very, prepared.
Damn, man, she knew you was out of place too.
Like a motherfucker, there, not like a motherfucker. I looked like a sore thumb.
She clocked the ass. She was like, yo.
Whose man is this? I was like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm all like, hi. Nice to meet you.
He's like, yo, she's smiling too much. She's not from around
I was
here.
I was like, Ma. I was like, no, I know. I was like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Germany. I am from Europe.
Yo.
Okay.
And you told her exactly where you from. She's like, yeah, she's not from around here.
I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, gladly, I survived.
Okay, that's good. Without a gun.
Without a gun. Crazy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's how I ended up, like, accidentally ended up in the hood because I just wanted to have, like, a cheap place near the festival site.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing that shit again.
What were some of the hood things you saw aside from?
That's the thing. I did not stick around. I just at the end of the day, I just spent a lot of time in Midtown. I did
Okay.
not. I met I met some people out there, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I went into survival mode, not to stay with them.
Oh, so you didn't even go back to Airbnb.
I didn't go back to Airbnb until the day I had to go back to New York. That's when I went back to Airbnb. I was just like, I'm not about to do this.
Wow. I mean, after that,
I was fearful. And then the fucking.
What happened?
So then, finally go back, which is like a day, 2 days, like 2 days later, and for some reason, I also like when I met up with the people, for some reason I packed like a change of clothes because I was just like, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here because I feel like my intuition is telling me, bitch, don't be here.
Yeah, inner Detroit in you was like, nah, don't go here.
Yeah, I know. Like the military dad in me was just like, bitch, you better assess the situation.
Yeah.
And prepare. So I get back. We take the bus and everything. Because what am I? Cheap.
Damn, y'all taking the metro in the hood too.
Hey,
That's a different type of.
I know.
Damn,
I never told my dad. Like I told my dad about that like years later because he would have whooped my. He was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you dumb?" And I was like, Dad,
"Oh my, I'm getting stressed now hearing that."
Love
I'm like,
me, Daddy.
Damn, all red, vintage. Nobody wear vintage in the hood unless
it was like a cute little shirt.
Anyone wearing vintage, they on drugs, yo.
It was
only
right? It was a hand me down.
Only crackheads wear vintage. Ain't nobody.
It was thrifted. Like, yo,
they're like, why she talking all right and walking straight?
I got this shirt from Amsterdam in a thrift store.
They're like, bitch, Amsterdam. You talking about New Amsterdam to drink? Because
I know, right?
You getting lit this early?
I was like, we're drinking. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't understand that accent.
You came from Amsterdam. It's like, yeah, me too. I was just out drinking New Amsterdam vodka. Yeah, same here. Where we turn up at? What strip club?
Hey, don't ask. No. And then I came into the Airbnb, and for some reason, I had not recognized that multiple rooms in this house could be rented.
Oh.
I walk in and I see a man that would be the poster child for like pedophile serial killer. Tall, white, skinny man. That man definitely used to do drugs back in the Disney or present.
Yo,
I don't know.
They had you in a trap house? Oh, damn.
I don't think it was a trap house. It was definitely a scam because afterwards I did go very deep into the comments, and that's when I saw that had bad reviews.
Damn, yo.
So why?
They done rent you a renovated trap house on Airbnb. Damn, yo.
Just about that. That is the perfect description of that.
Oh my God. A renovated trap house, but still kept the residents there. It was like, yo.
Basically, he was like, oh yeah, I used to come here back in the day, when Nancy used to stay here, she was a really nice one. I used to get my Crocs from her half price on Thursdays.
Half price on Thursdays?
So I just like to come here to reminisce,
Damn, they have that much crack. They had deals on
I'm pretty
days
sure.
of the week.
I only know things about drugs like from TV, so I've never been confronted with it.
Nah, that's that. Yeah, well, man, that's good.
Gladly, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm grateful that I didn't have to.
Being around crack is not fun.
Were you around crack?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yes.
How old are you?
Yes, me and 34.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, been around
90s.
crack. Yeah,
were you born in New York?
Or no, I was born in Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey. So that was like a rough area.
Oh yes, Jersey.
Yeah, where we was at one point, it was like murder capital.
Damn.
At one point, United States, but it was like a rough area.
Mm-hmm.
So crack. Yeah, that also seeing crackheads.
Yes.
I think I held crack. Like like this. And what's crazy is that when you around that neighborhood, you really know like crack is not how they depict it in TV and stuff. Like you got people that be going 9 to 5.
Yes. Functioning crack addicts.
Functional, yeah.
Functional.
And actually, sometimes big. Like, you got some crackers
big
bigger
than
me. Yeah, buff.
Big buff motherfuckers?
Big buff motherfuckers.
Doing the rocks?
Crack. Yeah.
Doing the rock and the roll.
Yeah, it's getting crack. It's almost like they treat like weed. To get the munchies after and then eat some, Hungry Man dinner, or banquet feast or whatever, little TV dinner.
I don't know exactly what you mean.
McDonald's.
Poke the holes in it.
Oh, yeah, they did probably bring it from their kid cuisine. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah. But buff crackheads.
Buff crackheads, I'm telling you.
Do you think they were buff before the crack or after the crack?
Mm, probably 4. Yeah, because probably they had just that body type where they just held on
Uh,
to shit. You know what I
like
mean?
little
So like,
stocky motherfuckers.
yeah, they probably had good genetics. You know, that's how you know you
Yeah,
got. That's how you know you got good genetics. If you smoke
right.
crack and you still big, I mean, that's how you.
Valid.
Yeah,
You are big boned.
you big bone. Oh, you got you meant to be a football player or something.
Yeah, you
That's the
just
only
smoked it
way you can
away.
know how good your genetics are by smoking crack and see what happens to your body after. Other than
That's
that, how do you really know?
Let's do an experiment.
Let's do the experiments. Let's go down to Berlin.
Let's go call the drug taxi and get ourselves some crack.
Drug taxi.
Drug taxi. I learned that from a friend. I was like, I don't know much about drugs. He was like, oh yeah, you get the little Telegram app. Call them what you want. They have like a little menu of drugs. You didn't know that?
I've heard about this,
Yeah.
but wow, out here
Yeah.
in Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or also like in bigger cities.
Wow. See, the one thing that really bothers me here, and I don't know,
No, please.
is that the safety or how open things are out here. So like a telegram for drugs,
Yes. That's what I've learned. I don't know. I've never tested that theory.
Mhm.
I've seen the thingies. Like I saw the little menu of it. I thought it was so much fun.
Wow. Did they have it all like literally
They
organized?
had emojis. Yeah, that had emojis for the drugs. I don't know if they wrote out the drugs, but they definitely had emojis. It was really colorful. It was well made. But this was like a couple of years ago. No bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit.
They had emojis?
Yeah, emojis for, whatever, drugs and like the price next to it. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a well-organized enterprise.
Wow.
Gundia.
That is crazy. An organized list of drugs by emoji that anyone can join in a Telegram app. Man, that is.
I don't know if that's still like that.
I mean,
at some point in time, it was.
I hear now some accept PayPal. I heard. I don't even know. That is, damn. That is wild. Yeah. See, I'm trying to figure out. It's too safe.
It's too safe.
It's
You're
too
trying
safe.
to navigate how much you are trying to unlearn from New York.
Yes, the paranoia still carries on with me.
Of course.
It's hard.
What is it that you would like? Okay, as an expat, I'm pretty sure you have answered this question very much often.
Yeah, but maybe. Yeah.
What are like the top 3 things that you have had to unlearn or are in the process of unlearning as someone who used to live in the States? Because in New York, because the States is one thing,
right?
New York is another. I just left New York, and that is a different place.
Yes.
Period. So therefore, there's one thing moving from the States, but moving from New York. What are the top 3 things that you would like to unlearn or are unlearning?
Wow. I don't think anyone ever asked me. That's a good question. Top 3. I would say one is learning how to deal with my paranoia, like just like turning it off to some degree, right? Like like turning it off in my subconscious. There's certain ways I move that still I don't realize until somebody calls it out. Like, oh shit, I was acting like as if I was going to a rough area. Like for example, I went to this event yesterday. It was like this playing the football game, and they told me where to meet them up at. And I was like, all right, cool. So I'm walking in, but I've never been in. It's kind of like an open place, and no one's in it. And the way I was walking in, kind of like, yo, who that? Where my people at? This and that, blah blah.
See that eyebrow situation right there. Now that's what we've seen.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yo, who that? Where you? So I was walking like that, but walking kind of like with my, kind of walking kind of like, yo, who all here? Like, yo, who this, who that? You know what I mean? And then the girl that was there who invited me, she was like, yeah, she's like, you walking like you walking smooth. I'm like, yeah, she's like, but you walking a little too smooth. Like you walking like you trying to check people. Like you don't want nobody to mess with you. And I was
valid.
And even as I explained, I was like, oh yeah, I was walking like that because I didn't know who was there.
Yeah.
I only knew her, but I'm going to a party where I ain't know nobody.
Hey.
And I've been to parties where, shootings happen. So, I'm kind of like, yo, who that? Like, who's this? Yo, who got this? Why they moving this way? Yo, is there any Henny bottles around? You know what I mean? I'm looking for things that, that hopefully ain't going to become a danger to me. So that's one. Second, coming from New York is customer service. So just realizing the service is just going to be different out here.
Yep.
It's going to be more based on just the service itself, not for the customer. It's just, here's the service.
Period.
The service is for you to get this croissant. So this is the service you're just going to get. It's not, this is not for you, you're a special person. It's just like croissant, here you go. Coffee, here you go.
Punk.
And look, to be honest, it's coffee. I ain't tell you it's going to be good or bad. This is just coffee from the machine. You want coffee from the machine or from whatever, from the machine. All right. Well, however it comes is however it comes. So getting bad coffee here in Berlin has been common. And there's no like, oh, it's kind of like, hey, look,
You
the
you get
beans
what
are
you pay for.
yeah, the beans are dry or something. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
the service is kind of like matter of fact. So that's one, just
Mhm,
like
mhm,
learning
mhm,
that.
mhm.
And then the final one is learning how to be okay with just silence for a long periods of time.
Valid.
Yeah, because out here, even when there's like parties and stuff, it still sounds muted.
Mhm,
It's so weird. Like
mhm,
you go to a little outdoor event or whatever, it still sounds like it's on a lower volume. It's like a
mhm,
volume 15.
mhm.
And it's like, yo, this is music that meant to be volume 90,
Right,
80,
right.
100. But why am I hearing it at 20?
Yeah.
You'd be at an all-day festival and you'd be like, yo, why am I hearing myself talk clearly? Like
Yes.
you could be right away over there. I'm hearing you talk. It's supposed to be all-day festival, loud music. What's going on?
Crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know how they control sound here, but they have a way of like muting sound
Huh.
that's supposed to be loud. And I'm not
Interesting.
used to that. New York, that shit. I mean, even a UPS driver, he bumping some Afro beats or like some
That
Jamaican
is
music.
true. I recognize that.
Yeah, I mean they bumping it.
Yeah.
And they bumping it all like I mean, even you go to the Heights,
You gonna have to
Dominican.
you gonna have to subwoofers, you know what I'm saying? They do the things in the cars. I saw I saw Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. You see, 'cause you went to New York, right? Recently.
Yes.
Yeah, what part of New York was you in?
I was in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy
Ah,
and in Manhattan.
nice. How was that?
It was pretty neutral. I think where I was staying in Bed-Stuy was gentrified.
Mm,
So I didn't really it was a very neutral experience.
okay.
And also in Manhattan it was very neutral. It was very just
Yeah.
I was not in the thick of anything.
Was you ever been to New York
I
or?
had been the fun,
Okay,
the
so it
first
sounds
time
like it sounds like you've been there a couple times.
the first time I went to New York again with my Germanist thing came out as well. I
Okay.
went to New York by myself for the first time for the first time in general. I went to New York in 2017. And I was also staying in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. But when I took the cab from the airport to New York to my Airbnb, I saw a group of young men like wearing light blue. And because of my shallow knowledge of gang culture, I for some reason also assume because I'm aware my father made me very aware of it because in Germany people like to like cosplay gang culture. No bullshit.
Well, we got okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
So
What the fuck?
so I'm aware of a lot. So I'm aware of these things because my father made me aware of them because so I would not cosplay the bullshit because Tanya, you are not about that life. So that's what's period.
Mm,
So I was like, and I was just second guessing my decision about where I was staying.
mm.
And I was just super scared because I was in New York by myself. I made that decision, but the reality I was like, what if I really made a wrong decision? What if I really made a bad decision? And I was extremely tense. And then I left the Airbnb super early on a Sunday because I was just like, niggas don't be shooting in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna be in church, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna fuck with people going to church. That's my assumption.
Okay.
And then I went to like the next like Dunkin' Donuts. And the only reason my nerves calmed is because I saw a white man in flip-flops. And I
So a
was
white
just
man flip flops.
and I was just like, okay, at least this place is gentrified. I feel safe to a certain extent. And I felt ashamed.
Oh,
However, this is not my area. I'm not gonna act like I feel super comfortable in very like dangerous area. Not dangerous, but yes, dangerous area. Like I'm not gonna act like I'm not from the hood. I don't. These are not my areas. And yes, gentrified areas in that aspect would make me feel more comfortable because from my entire upbringing, that's who I would technically relate more are people who sadly move to gentrified areas.
Mm-hmm.
Is the AfD
I don't
protesting?
know. That's AFD?
Wait, let me check.
Yeah. I don't know what is happening. You hear it though, right?
Did they pass?
I guess.
They passed.
Oh shit, was that AFD?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I just sometimes just like to do that.
Oh, okay, cool.
I cursed out a heckler
Oh, you did?
like 2 weeks ago. and just made an AFD comment at him because he was white.
Oh, but did you hear
I
AFD?
don't know. I did not. I
Oh,
did
okay.
not. I was just that was just a low blow.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of the hot topic out here.
Exactly.
I don't really know all. I just know they're right leaning, and
Yeah.
that that they won. No, they just came in second place or something.
Yeah, they've gained a lot
A
of
lot.
seats in the thing.
Yeah, it was
So
like surprising.
yeah,
Not
surprising.
surprising, but it was like
It was the most progress of any other party. So
mm,
it's just like, oh, this shit is growing, and it's growing
mm.
in popularity and it's growing in power.
It's like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because I don't
yeah.
really know all the. I mean, I just got here,
So
so
I mean, totally, you don't have to. Period. And I think, and it does not impact. It mostly impacts a lot of the Eastern Germany. It doesn't impact as much of Western Germany. So you're good here. Um, yeah,
uh,
you're gooder here.
a good. Okay, at
Yeah.
least that I mean, I'm
Yeah.
starting small. I'm trying to learn my
Hey.
German,
Yeah.
so that I'm like base level. Just got
That's
other
good.
issues.
A for effort.
There you go. A for effort.
Yeah.
Even though that's my level right now, A 0.5. That's my German
Oh,
level.
A 0.5.
Yeah, it's enough for me to tell you what I want, but I don't want you to talk back to me.
Okay. Um, I do want to get back to two of the 2 points that you made
Mhm.
earlier. My father also recognizes that when he goes to Detroit, he does turn to a different person.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He treats us like a Secret Service agent. He's like, get in the car. Get in the car now. And I'll just like make fun of him. I was like, Daddy, get in the car now. Code red. He's like, Ty, shut the fuck up. And I was like, get in the car now. So I recognize that and I see it in him. So
Mhm.
I'm just like, all right, cool. So I just know that when he's in Detroit, like he's in a different space,
Yeah.
and I accept that. And the second point with the service, I have this joke that I haven't really tried out. But how like I explain why I'm single is because the way I text, because the way I text is opposite of my personality. It's very dry and it's very German. It's very straight to the point. That's why I just like I just need to meet people because I know that when I text, it's not appealing.
Well, how do you text that makes it
Just like that, like straight. Like
straight German?
are we doing the thing short and direct? That's how I text.
Oh, I mean, but text is kind of similar to that. Like I'm kind of all right. So, what's an example that you can give to show how bad your texting is?
Like my friends tell me this all the time.
Hmm.
They're just like, if I did not know you, I would think you hate me because I text so dry and like my friend like my thing is the way I would like to make plans is like, yo, you want to get burgers at 5 o'clock? I was like, pasta. And that's it. And I will be there having burgers at 5 o'clock, showering you with my personality. But like, I'm not going to give you that much in between.
Mm. Do you ever use emojis or LOLs?
I really have to put in, I either have to be really excited about the topic or I have to put in like an active amount of effort.
I see. This is why people feel this way. Okay,
Exactly.
because you gotta throw it. You gotta throw in
Yeah.
a LOL, even though you don't mean it. You gotta just
Nah.
when you don't. Yeah, you gotta throw some face emoji, something. Yeah, I can see how somebody could be like, all right, it's been like about 5 messages, no LOL once, no haha, no, oh shit, that's crazy.
But you know how like there are some people that like they're really smooth over text, but
Hmm.
don't have none of a personality.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of like I'm the opposite, where I'm just like I have all this personality, but like, and I don't like to call, I don't like to FaceTime.
Oh, so you don't even do voice notes either?
I do voice notes sometimes, but like for my good friends, if I'm really
Oh,
trying to have like trying to do it like a specific topic, but like a daily amount of communication where I do a lot of decorative language,
mm-hmm.
it's not me.
Mm.
So that's why I recognize that probably has caused me to be like, wording is just like, what the
Would you say that's the German in you in
yes,
terms of?
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Definitely. My German comes out in very core situations. It comes out in my texting. It comes out when I'm irritated, when I just really have to be very assertive. Like when I am assertive in German, it's just very clear and straight up. It's
Wow. And I'm curious, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, before we get into that, you was going into you was in Brooklyn.
Right.
You was in a gentrified area. You felt guilty for feeling safe for being in one.
Yeah.
Um, which I guess, or actually no, let's go further back than that. You was talking about gang culture being cosplayed
Yes.
in
Oh,
parts of
yes.
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what? So how?
Okay. Um okay, so when I was younger, I didn't grow up with a lot of black people. Like the black people was my big brother. Um and all the other black people that I would know were my family back in Detroit.
Mm,
So I didn't have a lot of black friends growing up. So I was much of a representative of my own culture. Um and also what people thought black people were. So a lot of media. So all the tapes that I used to watch, that's kind of where I sometimes got a much of my personality or where I mirrored, you know. So
mm,
so it was a big influence. Um yeah, so when I was older and I started going out and partying, I met more people, more black people, um, more mixed, just but black people out of Germany
mm,
and Americans, because that's just the circles that I ran. And there were a lot of mixed mixed American or mixed African boys who there were two particular that I have in my mind right now that would like throw up the things.
they throw up signs.
They would throw up the signs. Some of them would have the bandana, and one of them said something was like, and because my father had schooled me on it, I was just like, this doesn't work out here. This is not the place. I mean, you can have, but they were referring to Bloods and Crips. And I was like, they don't have chapters out here for that. So I don't think that this is a viable organization that you are referring to right now because you are from Mannheim and from Ludwigshafen. You guys can build your own little gang. However, I don't think that you guys can refer to the Crips and the Bloods.
Wow, they had the bit. Were
They
they
had-
ever beefing? Like they ever had like?
I don't know. I never really stayed around them that much. But
Wow.
but funny enough, because I stayed around the military, because I just feel very comfortable in black spaces, African American spaces, which was mostly around the military bases.
Mm.
So when they would party, niggas would stack. And I told my friend, one time, I was like, "Oh my god, that is so interesting."
Wow.
Like a fucking tourist, like this is where my German comes out, because like I have no brush with gang culture. Why would I? I am from Beindersheim in Rheinland-Pfalz. Why would I know any of the stacking, what that means?
Wow.
And then my friend was like, Tanya, those are gang signs. And I was like, is it? Was it? Or then then she would tell me, it's like, yeah, one of my homegirls, and these are all Americans. They was like, yeah, one of my homegirls, she held a brick for her boyfriend. I was like, is he a construction worker?
She had a what?
Brick. She held a brick for her boyfriend. I was like, why? Is he a
Stop.
construction worker?
Stop.
I'm not bullshitting. I was like, what does that mean?
In Germany?
No, this was not in Germany. She was talking about her friend in the States.
Oh, okay.
She was talking about her friend in the States, and she was like, yeah, brick for her boyfriend. I was like, does he do construction or something? Why would he have a brick? Why? And then she was like, Tanya, bricks are drugs. And I was like, oh my God. Bad Boys 1. Brick. Oh no, but there were kilos of cocaine. I never heard. And then other than that, then I understood what Brick Squad means. Walk a flock of flame, one hood ass nigga. That's when I understood a lot of the things. Like a lot of rap songs I did not understand. I understood them way too late.
Wow.
Way too late. Way too late. Like Brick or I'm in love with the cocoa. And I was like, is he baking a chocolate cake? What are we doing?
This is so interesting. Wow, yo, okay. This is so important. Wow. Because
yes,
black culture is not the same everywhere.
It
but
is not.
One thing that all right, you just exposed something that is interesting, right? There's a thing with black culture where if somebody says a word to you that you don't understand, it's almost like you feel pressure to have to know. You don't want to ask. Like, again, like a brick. I don't even know. Probably somebody said it, and literally I just had to go home with it and like figure out what that meant. But
Mhm.
I would dare not even ask.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So just hearing you ask immediately, being like, "Yo, what's a brick?" I was like,
I was like,
"Oh,
or like, what? Why would they have a brick in the
wow,
bag? It's like tiny bricks are drugs. And I was like,
okay." You know,
wow, crazy.
you know what? I think we're getting somewhere with this, right? And in terms of this, like whole, because
I don't know how to say.
in terms of like knowing words and stuff,
Mhm.
right? Like certain slang.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever have like roasting? Like you guys ever like roast each other, like making fun of each other, like having jokes like, "Oh, that's why your shoes dirty. That's why you this and that. Why would you?" And okay,
Roasting culture is not that much of a thing in Germany.
oh,
From in my personal experience, it is not.
okay. I think I have a theory,
Yes,
right?
give me that theory.
Okay, I think the theory is the reason why black people are good with slang and
Mhm.
like make up slang so fast and is accepted
Yeah,
like fast is because when you were younger, you got roasted on not knowing certain things.
of
So
course.
I remember the first time when somebody asked me, "Do I got game?" Right, like asking, like, you got game with women, like know how to talk to
Mhm,
women.
mhm.
I was like, "Yo, you got game?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I got a Nintendo 64, I
Right.
got this or
Yeah.
whatever," and I got clown mercy, like they clown me so bad. It's like, yo, what? I'm talking to girls and that, but like, how would I?
Exactly. I was like, where was I supposed to pick up that vernacular?
Yeah, like literally, I used to be in a video game, so I was like, oh yeah,
Duh.
video games. This is what it is.
Exactly. Oh, how old were you when this question was asked
I
to
think
you?
I was like, damn, probably like 10.
Why would you have game for girls at 10 years? You were a pre-pubescent child. Why
Oh,
would you have game? I understand the overlay. No, we're not going to get into that. Tanya?
all right.
I recognize that, those conversations are had way too early,
Yeah.
especially towards black boys and girls.
Yes.
Um, but as someone who did not grow up around them, I'm just like, why would I have game? I'm still trying to play with them gender neutrally.
Yeah. It was like,
Like there's nothing happening. I'm not trying to have sex with at 10 years old. What the fuck?
yeah, people was getting into it
I
early.
know
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very and it's very sad and it's something that I've definitely when I used to date the military guys or talk to them and I'm just like you y'all really need therapy. You guys need to the over sexualization of the black man is something that is just some that needs to be I mean of the entire black community
Mm-hmm.
and then one has to just take the time for both genders to just be okay. I mean girls obviously sadly it's more apparent, but I think that I had this conversation just a few weeks ago where that the over sexualization of young black boys especially there has to be a safe space for them to process and heal from it because it has a lot of very detrimental consequences when they don't.
For a fact.
Period.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, no, and that's a topic in itself in terms of that. But
But yeah, to the fun part. Wow, what games did you have at the house?
yeah, so I had, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. What else? I had like just a decent amount, but
You
like
fucks with Uno?
Uno. I mean, of course, that's something that you had to. Yeah, I mean, with all the interesting rules that come along with it,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's always gonna be
Mm-hmm.
some, yeah.
How do you play? That's the question always before you start playing Uno.
Damn.
Do you know how to play
So
spades?
nah, I don't, and I'm still ashamed to this day.
I mean, I never got taught. I mean, but I
Right.
think
You know how to
also
play spades?
no, I do not.
Okay.
My father never. I don't know. It just never happened.
Yeah.
But I think also you are also. I mean, super third culture. I mean, with Liberian parents, that's not. You have Liberian parents.
Mhm.
How long were they in the states before they had you?
True. I think maybe for like not even a year, maybe like maybe a few years,
Yeah,
maybe less than that.
yeah. And I think then one also has to recognize that you don't have the ancestral connection that Black African Americans have, from the states or at least
Mhm.
a couple of generations in. So then I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, the one thing I would say though with American culture is that so, especially like black culture in America, is that it's so strong that once you grow up in it, it's
yeah,
like it's in you.
yeah.
Like there's certain things that you just part of it. I don't know how it is. It seems like it's different out here, like in terms of black culture, and because then you got different cultures. You got African
The
culture, then you got East
diaspora is
African, you got
pure.
West
The
African.
diaspora
Like
is. serious.
It's serious. And like each country is different. Like East Africa is different than West Africa, different than North Africa, different than South. So you got so many different. Whereas in America, it's just like, hey, what's your skin color? Black.
Is you a nigga?
Black
You's
now.
a nigga.
Yeah, you nigga. Like that's what it is. And you white, you white. Like so you just get molded into that. Family matters. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Growing up like near the hood, right? Getting jumped. Like so things just happen that just put you into the culture.
Right.
And then you kind of forced to take those in. So like learning spades or like, all right, game, like, talking to women a certain way. That's part of the culture. Like you can't be a black dude that's just kind of like awkward. You can be like, hey, what's your name? You're gonna be like, what? You probably something's gonna happen to you like if you just don't know how to talk to women or just weird.
Right.
Yeah, like
yes.
That's why most black dudes can know because from an early age.
Yeah.
You sometimes be at a party, it's like, yo, go talk to her. You're like, I don't want to.
Hey,
you should literally be a put. Like I always have friends that's push you, like, yo, go talk to her, yo.
No, bitch.
Like you can't even walk back. Like I'm talking about it consistently pushing you to the point where it's like, all right, well, it's either I want to eventually get into a fight with my friends, or I'm gonna talk to this. So that's how eventually I develop other games other than Nintendo 64. That's how I figuratively develop games.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I don't have game to this day.
I mean, but so what's your definition of game that you think you should have?
Feeling comfortable flirting.
Okay, and what's like flirting for you in terms of
I don't do the eyes.
You don't.
You know how like ladies are like,
right?
I can't demonstrate lips like.
You can demonstrate that. You just start laughing. You like
that's what I do. It's like that's why I'm funny. I was just like even when I use like my thing like even when I used to go out, I was like I throw ass. I just like I make a joke, I throw ass, and that's how I kind of do what I do. But that wouldn't always work that well. I don't know. I mean, yeah, but like
it depends.
When you're like 18, but like now you're just like I don't have the energy to throw this ass. Like I just want to stay home.
It depends where you at though. I mean,
it depends on where you at.
Yeah.
But also while you were being asked to have game at 10, I mean I was never sought after as a like growing up, and I wanted to be sought after. Period. So
why was that?
I don't know. I think my personality is just very uncommon in Germany, and it's just very like out there and everything. I've always been this way. I've been way more hyper, and I was just not attractive. I would try, like I would ask boys like, do you want to go with me? And they would say, I asked one boy twice. He was like, no, and I was like, but like, do you want to though? He was like, no, and I was like, damn. It's okay. Well,
man, that's so
guess that shit ain't gonna work. And then but when I would go to the States, I specifically remember going to the States, celebrating my 16th birthday at a roller rink in Detroit, and I was getting flirted with, and I did not know how to deal with it. Like a guy being like, and I was like, this is such an uncommon situation because I'm normally the one that does the move because I'm the one that wants the boy. The boy don't want me, so I do the boy. But I don't know how to receive the thing. So then I was just like, huh. And then like he would try to talk to me. I don't know how to. And he tried to talk to me while I was rolling. I fell. And I was just like, and he was like 14. And I'm 16. And I'm just like, I can't even handle the game of a 14-year-old boy. God damn, I'm such a lame. And yeah, so then when I was older and was like 17, 18, 19, I still didn't really learn. I know how to talk to people. I know how to have a neutral conversation with people. But to this flirting, like I do flirting mostly like for like comedic reasons or like for like just out of humor, but like flirting to really do the thing, I can't. I was like, wow. Like I can go on dates and have like normal conversations and that's fine. But like I can't do the like I stroke the hand and like I do the footsie thing under like what women do in the movies. I do the footsie thing under the I was like, oh, what if he rejects me?
You probably kick him in the knee. He probably don't even.
I was like,
you probably kick him right in the side of the knee.
I was like, yeah. I was like, so how was your day today? was like, I was playing my hair. I was like, no, I'm just really trying to get this tangle out that's been here for about 30 minutes since I discovered it. I'm just really trying to get it out. It's
Like
bothering
this
me.
co-washing, not co-washing.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, do I need to wash my hair tomorrow or the day after? Fuck. Yeah, so it's and that's where, and that's where the entrance of game is different. Yeah.
So it was the environment okay, so it was the environment in which didn't facilitate the game that you thought you should have.
The game development.
Game development,
Yeah.
which it now shows that it depends on the environment you in.
Yeah.
Because like even the environment I'm in, like you had to go up to the girl. Like the girl did not come up to you. Like
She maybe gave you the eyes and she was
yeah.
like,
And even the eyes too. The eyes was still kind of like you had to like go on a chance, like, yo. Cause sometimes they'll deliberately try to play you, but then to see how strong you would,
yeah, like, can I wear it down?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yes, when I was in New York, I went to this club called Lot 45.
Lot 45 in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Love that place.
Yeah.
I love, like, it was great. But like dudes would just come up to me and be like, hey, yo, so what's your name? Where are you from? And they would just keep it pushing. And they were so comfortable. And I was like, as an adult woman, I was like, yeah, I understand that. Like, I was like, I recognize, respect the risk you took. Do I trust you? Fuck no. Because like you are all in mad bitches' faces. Like, that's weird. However, shoot or shoot. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And so I just recognize that in Germany, that does not happen.
Because it seems here, I mean, I've only been in Berlin for a little bit, but it seems like going up to people, especially in public, is not a thing.
It's not a thing. My friend and I were on the train yesterday, on the tram, and this dude walked up to this girl, and I was just like, my friend was like, oh my God, he approached her in public. That is so crazy. We're just like eavesdropping. I was like, what is he saying? I was like, oh my God. But like, oh my God. We were there for the tea. But that really does not happen. Like, I've been approached one time, but he was, I don't know. But that was weird too. But then it's like the guys that approach you, they're just like delusional. Cause I'm just like, bro, like, are you not afraid, bro? Cause that's what I've been told, like that I intimidate people sometimes. So I'm just like, so then when guys approach me, I was like, are you delusional? You think you can pull all of this? But then I'm just like, look at you being brave. I respect that. Oh my God.
And some dudes would take that as a challenge,
Yeah, but then it's like,
yeah, but you think you can handle all this? I'm like, yeah. I'll show
like,
you how.
and I'll be like,
I'll show you how I can handle it.
And then I'll be like,
yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got. Be like, I don't know.
Well, that was my only defense.
That was my only defense. I was like, all right, well, so then we'll have, and they'll dismantle them, and they'll try to dismantle them in different ways. But like, then neutrally conversation, like, so why are you so comfortable? Now I'm trying to figure out why are you feeling this way.
You like, so what's your favorite color?
And I was like, he was like, oh, this was easy. I was like, since you were persistent. So what's up? Was ist los?
Was ist los?
Was geht? Wie machen wir das denn jetzt? Was sind die Logistiken hier? Wann treffen wir uns? Was geht? And that's what also like the issue. Like I'm super impatient.
Yeah.
Like if I do talk to a guy and I was like, do
you speak that way? Like in
No, I don't have I don't have a dialect when I speak German. Only for comedic reasons I use a dialect.
Okay. I was gonna ask you somewhere in this stuff, like your personality, because the way you sound English, like again, like the way you sound, I was like, oh my God, like it sounds like straight America.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like. But then I was wondering if you sound the same way in German, or you sound like very like kind of more, I don't know, like German when you speak German.
I think I have a deeper voice. Do I have a deeper voice in German?
Hallo.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ich bin die Frau Parker.
Wie geht's?
Wie geht's?
Wie geht's? Wie geht's? All right. You mentioned you do clown.
Well, yeah, I mean, what comedy thing? Well, I mean, on my Instagram, I used to do like Twerk Tuesday.
Yeah, because I do like clown work too. So I'm always curious.
Like what kind of clown work?
So
like tell me they call you Crump?
Not Gautier or Gaulier.
No.
He has school. So I don't know what type of clown it is, but I know it's clown in the sense of like you just doing not random stuff, but you just seeing where a thread would go or something. I don't even know how to really explain it. I just know it's not clown with like the nose and everything, but like you acting like a buffoon, or you just like
you're a quirk jester.
Kind of. Think of it like, okay, maybe it might help to explain like the class I go to and like how the thing would do. So
Mhm.
for example, they'll be like, all right, go behind this curtain, and when you get out, we want you just be funny or something. We're gonna play
Mhm.
this music, and we want you to just be funny
Right.
or something. So it might be you and another person. You guys go behind the like the curtain, and this audience or the people who taking the class. You go out and you just do something funny,
Mhm.
and out of that, you just like following the funny. You're bombing, but then like in that, there might be something funny. So you're
Mm.
going there following the thread to see where that
Mhm.
goes.
Mhm.
And it was yeah. So that's like clowning in the sense for me. Like you just kind of doing.
Is it improv?
It's not 'cause improv is a game to it. And there's a structure of yes and.
Oh, okay.
So the clowning is different. It's more brutal actually. It's very difficult. Like
Mhm.
there's people that cry in it and like everything because you're trying to do what you think is funny and it's not. And it's
Mm.
very like direct. So there's even things where it's like, hey, if you're not if no one's laughing, you got to do this thing to signify that it's not funny. So not only is it you're trying to pass over, it's like, no, wait, no, do you think this is funny? Hey, let's ask this person in the
Mhm.
audience. Do you think it's funny? No, it's not funny. Do you think this person's funny? So if it's not funny, you're supposed to do this act or something. Or I remember a class I was in, it was like, hey, if this person's not getting laughs or it's not funny, come in like a radio announcer and talk about what's happening.
Mm.
So like this person's not, this person trying to like juggle some balls or whatever, and
Mhm.
then you drop it on the floor. And I'm like, it'd be like, not enough balls? Come to this depot where we have many balls where it will never fall down or it never drops, blah, blah, blah. Like, so you is and then that's more funny than so it's like a whole bunch of things that are happening to
Yeah.
where it's jarring you.
Oh my
But
god.
at the end of it, I think like the height of it is then you can come in with that, like literally have nothing in your brain and just be fucking
Yeah.
like funny. There's been times where there's like go behind the current and then come out, and I didn't know what I was going to do. As soon as I came out, I acted like a wrestler that was never loved
Oh my
because
god.
I had like a stepfather who never wanted me to play with action figures because it's like similar to Barbies or something. But then I was trying to find it was like weird. It was like it's something that
What?
just went very crazy, and I was
Mm.
acting like a wrestler on like stage type of thing. I didn't even know where it came from. And like had an accent, just playing music, this and that,
Mm.
whatever. There was like a monologue and everything. It
Mm.
was like crazy. I was like doing wrestling moves or something. Somebody threw a hat or something like that. I act like the hat was like a GI Joe. It was crazy. But I was like, any clowning I've seen was just random.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's why I love clowns. Anything that's clown related, I'm just like, oh,
Speaking, I just remembered I do Sandman.
what? Oh, the
No,
Sandman from like the
the Apollo.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like yeah. So there's this. So for about for a couple of years, there's this talent show that kind of follows the concept of the Apollo on like one of the bases. And I used to dance for the host because she would always want dancers for the show. And I was just at one point, I was like, let me be Sandwoman. Like, let me do the thing.
Yeah.
And then she was like, all right, cool. Like she knew that she knew that I had she knew that I had a personality. So I would do it. And I would go all out. Like I just did it I just did it earlier this year because, I'm a period. Like I would dance for the host in like a skimpy, like romper. And
Mm-hmm.
then I would go around the corner, put on my dinosaur costume, like blow it up, and I would just come out because duh. And then one time I got like, 'cause they was like, oh, the color code for this event is orange. I was like, all right, bet. I got an orange wig, got a plaited skirt, got an orange shirt. I'm not a well endowed person in the boob area. I made water balloons, put them in my bra, and I was just like, this is my drag name now. I'm Gingivitis.
Ginger
Yeah.
Vitus.
And I'll do like a forward roll. I'm just not too proud to act the fucking fool in the name of entertainment. Period. It's
Wow.
bad. I can show you pictures. And when my hair was longer, I would just comb it out and just have it and just I would just do weird shit. My friend gave me a Nerf gun one year, and one time a dude almost got booed, then he ran away and continued to sing, and I just walked around him with the Nerf gun. And I was just like, nigga, once they boo, I'm busting on your ass. And it was a fun time. Because what is it? It's my job.
Oh my God, you was a menace out here in Germany with that type of. It's like what?
It's like, what is the most disturbing thing that I
That
could
is
do?
some raw like American type of. That is
I will send you my Tour Tuesday videos.
That is, I'm telling you, the way you act, the way you move, your mannerisms. I swear to God, I thought you was from like Midwest, somewhere America, like somewhere definitely near the hood, and like it's wild to hear that. Not even like, you know what I mean. So like, I can imagine just growing up here in Germany, people were just like, whoa, you speak
Exactly.
German, but then you're not, you have this other side to you that's very American,
Yeah.
very original. Wow.
Yeah.
That is, oh, you a mind fuck to a lot of people. You probably be messing people's minds up. Cause I mean, you come in with the German, but then when your English come out, it's probably like,
Yeah, it's definitely in job situations when people they would email with me where I would be dry as hell. Then they would just come in and my name, like my full name is Tanya Renee Parker. So like you could maybe think I was black
mhm,
or American. You could maybe think,
yeah.
but from the way I communicate, there is no reason. But then they come in, there's like, huh. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
what's
but
up?
you speak English with the American,
Yeah, but
like
if there is
full.
if the German interaction, if the interaction is only German, there's nothing to be said.
Ah, okay, I see. So then, yeah, because it's a different type of personality.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not one that would correlate naturally
Mhm.
with, I guess, the level of it because like nothing about my digital identity, like my email address or the way I write, would lead to the conclusion that I may be black and or American. So then the
Ah,
people would come in
right.
and they'd be like, "Is what you Frau Park?" And I was like, where they would think, the white lady in the room was up. I was like, "No, it's me. What's up? What are we
And
doing?" And they was like, "Yeah, das." And I was like, "Ich habe gesagt, was ich gesagt habe."
wow.
This, yeah,
And you speaking full fluent
yeah.
German, and they was just like, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah. But I mean, but for a lot of mixed kids, that's very normal. I mean, and just there are a lot, yeah, there are a lot of things that go into that, but some adapt more,
Mhm.
some don't. And I think when sometimes there's always like this concept like biracial, not that like but like you know how it's like, oh my god, biracial, like I'm not black, I'm biracial. We're not gonna get into that, but eh. I feel like from what I have witnessed with my own two eyes, there's definitely a choice you make. I've made my choice loud and clear.
Mm,
And others made other choices, which is not bad. It's something you lean towards. It's not a choice. It's not a denouncement. It's
mhm.
something that you happen to lean in. And like I have friends, they're mixed. And the one sister, she really leaned a lot into like her European side. And the other one just more into her black side. And it's just a neutral observation.
A neutral observation.
It's not like, oh my god, that's so bad. I was like, no, it's just a character trait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore that is what I've witnessed. So for me, I don't think that what I do or what I am is that out of pocket because of course I am that, so it's normal to me. But like my friends who are half and half, or it's just normal because we just grow up with duality. Duality is just natural to us, and it's just something that we navigate, and it's a just pure enrichment.
Wow, that's like a real third culture kid like experience. But like, I mean, obviously, in the sense of you being biracial, your mom being German, and your
Mhm,
dad being like, from Detroit, black, black American, African American, whatever.
mhm.
But then also too, like you growing up in Germany, that's like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
You growing up near a base as well, that has its own culture.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
You importing culture via UPN and
Yes.
WB, which that's a wild,
Yeah.
wild thing right there. Damn. So you went through a lot of changes and a lot of experiences that you had to like, not make decisions, but kind of confront those things.
Yeah, definitely. It's one has to do. One has to confront their identity and race, their identity period at some point in life and just recognize, okay, what is it that I'm going to leave in the past and what is it that I'm going to keep?
Mm,
Um and Yeah, I've been through that. I've worked a lot. I've worked very hard on kind of recognizing the good parts of my personality, the bad parts of my personality, and the roots of them. And I'm okay with it. And I think with comedy, with me starting comedy, it feels natural to me. It feels okay, but I don't want to get ahead of myself because I'm comfortable with what it is for me right now.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, shit. When you was on stage, I mean, again, I thought you was doing it. Like I thought you was coming from Detroit, and you happened to be visiting,
I was like, yeah.
and he's on stage, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, this is good. Like it was refreshing. It was like, oh, okay, this is somebody come from America. Let's see how it
I
goes.
was like,
And
it's a homegirl. I was like, girl, where you from? Where you from? What's up? Where we having the barbecue?
I ain't gonna lie to you, because I was just like, oh shit, because when there's another black person in the room, especially a black person from America, you
clocking.
Yeah, it's like, all right, let me make sure I'm saying, like I'm coming correct, because
Right.
like here's gonna be someone that's gonna be looking at me like, all right, like
Don't fuck up.
don't fuck up.
Period.
There's definitely that pressure.
Hey.
So yeah, I was like, all right, this energy in this room, I appreciate that. And one thing last thing I like to ask, and I like to ask people on the podcast is, you going up through all these experiences with like, the different cultures and things, what would be the advice you give to yourself, your younger self, let's say, going through all these experiences?
Find the people, like go where you're celebrated. At 17 or 18, I completely abandoned all of my German friends from school because I just go where you're celebrated, go where you're understood, and where your authenticity is accepted. And don't try to fit in, like don't try to like force the fit, because it's just unnecessary. There are too many places where you can fit in. The world is very big. Like move circles, have multiple circles that highlight and nourish different parts of your personality, and just don't stay stagnant in circles and in comfort zones just because that's what you're used to. Fuck that.
That's some real shit right there. That's some real shit. Well, look, thank you very much for doing this. I mean, the energy is like refreshing, just because it's like I was like, oh shit, this feels like America, but like a certain part of America that is always dope to be a part of, especially as a black person.
Period.
Being here in Germany. So thank you very much. And actually, one more question.
Answer.
What are the top 3 places one should visit here in Germany, coming from you?
I mean, I live in Heidelberg. It's a tourist hotspot. I love Heidelberg. We have the Neckar. We have a river. We have a castle.
You see, you have the what?
We have a river.
What's the other one?
The Neckar.
Oh, okay.
I always think it's way too close to nigga.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the Neckar River. It's the Neckar River. Why is it? This is where we all put down where the niggers in the water. Wade in the water. That's what they meant right there.
My brain was like, huh?
No, but like for real,
huh?
When you say Neckar in English, it's just Neckar. It's the way it's Neckar, so it's not that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, fair enough. Sorry. This is part of my Americanism that I'm trying to get out. When I hear words that are close to,
true.
I get triggered. I'm like, huh? But yeah,
I totally get it.
So I apologize to people here on the podcast. I was triggered. I'm doing my best to realize there's other languages other than English.
The American entitlement is what it is.
It is, and
it's globally known on the microphone.
Yeah, even with Digga, I'll be like,
oh, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To me, I don't like it. Digga, to me, is too close. And I'm pretty sure they were just like, we can't say nigga. But like, we're German. Wir sind Deutsche Niggas. Wir sollten Digga sagen. Like Wicca. I guess it's like the same concept.
Yeah, when I heard Digga, I was like, how could it not be? I mean, but again, this is my Americanism. I don't know, benefit of doubt.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
not everything revolves around racism. However,
However,
is there a strand of it in there?
I know it comes from Dicker, right? Or
It's,
something, but I don't know.
I don't like it.
No.
And I've been around it my entire life.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
don't like it. No, I don't. ASMR.
You ever got called that?
Like
Like,
Nick?
yeah, my digger, hello,
Yo, Dika. Like one time a 9-year-old child was just like, yeah, Dika. I was like, I just don't. Nobody calls you Dika. It's like it's a term of endearment. It's not a bad word.
Yeah.
I recognize it's like, oh, I don't like it when especially like very young children say it, but it is a valid term. It's like buddy. So I can't I'm not gonna like demonize it, but
It's like you just get you're like, all right, there's a weird feeling
I
here,
was like,
but
all right, fine. I was like, it's
yeah.
a part of the language that I do not participate in.
Okay,
Do what you gotta do.
dig is a word of endearment here in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay,
Between men mostly.
For the black people that's watching America, me as a person who just came from America, it's alles gut.
Alles gut.
Langsam.
Yeah. Second thing that I would fuck. I think like Munich, I guess they have like no, scratch that. First Heidelberg, second is Kassel. I cannot tell you geographically where in Germany that is, but it's a beautiful city. It's 40% green, and every 5 years they have a citywide, 40% green, like as in landscape.
Mhm.
And every 5 years they have a citywide was called Ausstellung, Museumsausstellung, Kunstausstellung, art exhibit.
Wow.
That runs parallel with Athens, Greece. It's such a random collaboration. And also they have like some sort of like deep-seated collaboration or connection to Japan. And I just think I went there one time and I was like, this is so random and so fucking cool that I just really fucks with the city and I advocate for it. It's just nice. And the third one is Berlin, technically, because like you can kind of have like the best of both worlds. It's like the New York of Germany. Like you can New York of Germany, like maybe also Frankfurt because they have like the financial. That's like the financial hub, and that's where like the biggest airport in all of Europe, I believe, is. So yeah, so New York, so Frankfurt and Berlin are kind of like combined the New York of Germany.
All right.
So those are my three.
Three.
Drei. Das sind die drei, die ich habe.
Yeah. Okay. So I got to visit those places. I got to definitely visit. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for doing this.
Samesies. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, this is dope. Thank you very much. This is your first podcast, right?
Yay! Pop my podcast cherry.
There you go.
That did not work.
Well, maybe I'm not going to add a sound effect, but
like no, like when you open a Snapple bottle.
Yeah.
I always giggle.
They got Snapple out here?
No, they don't. Fuck. But whenever they have a Snapple, whenever I open a Snapple bottle and like that pop comes out, I'm like, hee. Every time.
Popping a Snapple cherry?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that ain't sound good.
That's the sound that I want. If you put a sound over it, that's the sound.
Maybe. I'll have to go into Google and not get flagged for finding that.
Snapple pop?
No, Snapple pop. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
That part. All right. So thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you.
And guys, whoever is listening and watching, thank you very much for listening and or watching. This is your boy, Nyan Yenifin, host of the Third Culture Talk podcast. I'll see you guys in another one. Peace.